Hello, everybody. We're live. And my special guest is not my cat, it is Joe. Just Joe with us here today. Yay!
Yay.
We are talking about fibromyalgia. And he's mad at me. Look at him. He's mad. You say, you put this collar on me and then you won't let me go outside. We got him a catio.
Oh, yay.
Yeah. And they're just today it's finished, so they're learning to use it.
Mm.
Get out there's a little screen door, the little cat door in the screen, and so they got to go through that onto the stair, and he can get around real good. Now I have my other cat, looks just like him, but he's a little chubbier. So he got all the way to the bottom. He couldn't get back up. So
Oh.
I know. I went inside and I helped him up.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not huge, but it took us like 3 days to put that thing together. Woo, goodness. It was
That's
expensive.
awesome.
Yeah, I had fun. It was fun. Okay, so let's go to our fibromyalgia article. We'll go to present. And what we're going to talk about today is fibromyalgia and what it is. And Joe is just going to enlighten us and teach us some stuff about it. Let's see here. I'm going to go back over to the article. Okay, fibromyalgia, symptoms and causes, overview. Okay, we're going to talk about the overview. I just want a general overview and then we're going to just start chatting. So, fibromyalgia is a disorder characterized by widespread musculoskeletal pain. And I always thought it was nerve pain. Hey, metal music. But it says musculoskeletal pain.
Right.
Accompanied by fatigue, sleep, memory, and mood issues. Researchers believe that fibromyalgia amplifies pain sensations by affecting the way your brain and spinal cord process painful and non-painful signals. That's what I thought was the nerve part. Because I know my sister is very sensitive to touch.
Yes. Some
Yeah.
people are very much sensitive.
Yeah. Symptoms often begin after an event such as physical trauma, surgery, infection, or significant physical stress. In other cases, symptoms gradually accumulate over time with no single triggering effect. So, like we were talking earlier, no two people with fibromyalgia are going to be the same. Women are more likely to develop fibromyalgia than are men. Many people who have fibromyalgia also have tension headaches, temporomandibular joint, TMJ disorders. That'd be like the grinding of the teeth, irritable bowel syndrome, anxiety, and depression. While there is no cure for fibromyalgia, a variety of medications can help control symptoms. Exercise, relaxation, and stress reduction measures also may help. But if you're in pain, how you gonna exercise? I see the relaxation, and how you gonna reduce your stress when you're stressed because you're in pain?
Yeah. It ends up being a very vicious cycle.
It really does. Chronic pain is a vicious cycle, and then on top of that, the fibromyalgia with
Yeah.
which includes the chronic pain. Okay, so let's start with how did you start having issues and then you went to the doctor? What was it that uh started your journey? Cuz I know it probably took, how many years did it take for you to get diagnosed?
I was actually very lucky. My diagnosis was in roughly a year and a half, 2 years.
Okay.
Some people, I mean, 10 years. And
Yeah.
still, I might even say, gosh, it sounds like fibromyalgia. But unfortunately, there's some doctors that almost don't even believe it, like in fibromyalgia in general.
Yeah. Still today, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Um my sister has a doctor who is good with the fibromyalgia. She's the one that diagnosed her. I want to say though she didn't know at first, so I can't remember how long she's been diagnosed, but I know that she was in a lot of pain and had a lot of issues before she was diagnosed with fibromyalgia. Uh, Patrick's here and he said, only have time to post House Panthers. Have a good show. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you. Okay, so
Now for my diagnosis, one reason why I felt like it was pretty quick is, one, my doctor did believe in fibromyalgia. Two, it was the process of the test to kind of rule out everything that made it take so long. So I was being tested for even things like lupus and, and then once all these testings were done, they said, okay, because there's not a test for fibromyalgia.
Okay.
So they're like, we got through everything that it could be. Here's this one thing that's left, and we don't have a test for that. So we're going to say fibromyalgia, and which I think is why some doctors don't even believe in it, because I have people that even have said to me that it's not a real thing because there's no proof.
Oh my God.
I'm like, my body is my proof to me.
Yeah.
I don't need a test to prove I have it. I have it. We just didn't know what the name was.
Right. Right. Don't discount my pain because you don't understand it.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. She went through that too with some family members. And I was like, to certain family members, just because you don't understand it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. We just don't know what it is yet.
Right.
And people are people in general are like, well, I don't know anything about it. So is it real? The same with mental health. I think a lot of people, I can't see it. And fibromyalgia, you can't necessarily see until it gets so bad that you start to have physical symptoms, but you can't physically see it, like a broken arm or, I don't know, something else broken, or when I had my knee done, people can see the scar.
Yeah.
But when they don't see the scar, they're like, why are you riding around in the Walmart cart?
Yeah.
Because if I don't, I can't get through Walmart.
Yeah. Well, I've had people, even when I walk on my cane or my rollator, roll their eyes at me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I mean, why would I want to use these things?
Exactly. Where a lot of people, I'm of the school of thought that I tried to do that whole thing. Oh, I don't need a cane, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'm walking out of the store. I'm dying in pain. I can barely cross in front of the cars to get to my car.
Right.
So if I use this, what do they call them? Ambulatory devices.
Right.
If I use this, I may not be in so much pain now, but if I use it, by the time I leave, I'm not going to be dying.
Yeah.
I'm going to have an assistance. And I see some people limping around, and I wonder, I know there's stigma with the cane and the walker and stuff. And I just wonder, and I'm the same way about my pain as I am about my mental health. I don't care what you think about it. This is my story, whether you believe me or not. I've never had anyone come up to me though, because then I might have to shut this finger so that I can punch somebody in the mouth.
Right.
Hey, Brandy's Unboxings is here. How are you doing? Joe, she's always here in our chat. She's up here talking about fibromyalgia, and I know Brandy struggles with some chronic pain issues too. So, but I am of the mindset of use the aids. I know there's stigma with it, but by the time you get done doing what you're doing, you're not going to be so debilitated that you can't get in your car or you can't drive home or, any of that kind of stuff.
I was a lot like you in the beginning. I didn't want the medicine. I didn't want anything that would help, like a cane or a rollator or whatnot.
Yeah.
And it got to the point of course, with the mental health part of it, the pain was getting so bad. I was like, oh, today's just a bad day, and I wouldn't really get out of bed.
Yeah.
Well, because I wasn't helping myself with things that were being offered, all days were becoming bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I was not getting out of bed at all.
Yeah.
So at some point, I had to not just look at what I was doing for myself. I had to look at what was happening to people around me because of the choices I was making.
Mm-hmm.
Life was much harder on my husband.
Yeah.
My mom had me when she was 37, so she was considerably older, and she was having to come all the way to my town to help me go to doctors and all these things. When I'm going to these doctors, I'm not even using what they're offering.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So at some point I had to say, this isn't a pride thing. This is just you being stupid.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, everybody's like, this is such a pride. It's a pride. No, it's not pride. It's dumb.
Mm-hmm.
It
Pride
really
and ignorance are right there, right?
Yeah.
I can be limping out the store, or I can ride in the cart,
Mm-hmm.
So I ride in the cart, and I just go about my business, try not to hit anyone. If somebody gives me the side eye, I might be tempted. But I have not yet hit anybody with my cart. But yeah, just because you see it, don't think you know. You know what I mean? Don't
Yeah.
think you know. All right. Let's see. Nightingale Wednesdays here. Good afternoon, everyone. Let's see. I don't know if you can see the comments.
I can.
You can?
I've got my other phone.
Oh, okay. Doing my 9 to 5 work at home. I hope you all had a great weekend. Yes. Thank you for coming in. This is Jo, just Jo. She's in our chat all the time. She's coming to tell us about her fibromyalgia and just what's going on with Jo. Deb's craft tables here. I think this is an important discussion. Thank you, Deb. So do we. We think
Yes.
it's very important. Brandy said hit the thumbs up. Brandy said I'll ride in the cart with you and we can race. I'm good with that. Thank you so much, you guys. Hit the like button. Thank you so much. So much. But yeah, I think this is a very important topic. And I'm so glad Jo's here with us today, sharing her experience. And we were talking about, mean people for a second, but we started talking about how fibromyalgia, how it, she figured out that she had it. Jo is beautiful and awesome, Brandy said. Yay.
Oh, thanks, Brandy.
She's so sweet.
The weird thing about, I think, that a lot of people don't get about fibromyalgia is I have other health issues, but let's say I'm walking in the grocery store and my hip starts hurting. That makes sense because I'm walking.
Mm-hmm.
But why is my shoulder hurting? Because fibromyalgia don't make much sense. It literally is like misfiring messages. Your brain is not sending the right messages to your body. So I could wake up and feel like my arm is falling off. And I've done nothing to cause it. My brain has just said, this is the pain you're going to be in.
Yes. And that's why it's so hard for them to diagnose.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, your hip hurts. So why does your shoulder hurt? And the doctor's like, well, could it be your brain?
Yeah.
Well, it is your brain, but it really is a physical, it's a physical response to what's going on with your brain.
Yeah.
It's not just you thinking, oh, I'm hurt. And it looks like my sister is here. Duchess Snowcloak, did your mod throw me out? No. Nope, I don't think so. But I've had trouble before where people, not my mods don't throw you out. People get kicked out. I don't know why. And then they have trouble getting back in. Because if I go to the live, it's a stupid YouTube thing. I'm not in the live. I'm supposed to be in my own live. I'm so bad at that. Okay, let's go to my channel, your channel. I'm going to make my sister a mod so she doesn't have that problem anymore. There we are. Channel, your channel. I'm going to make my sister down. There you are. Go to channel.
Well, this is the first time I saw you in here, Duchess, so I didn't even see you come in earlier.
She doesn't come a lot. Because
I know, but she said she got thrown out. Wouldn't that mean that she was in here earlier?
Oh no, I just saw you. I left a big old message, she said. I don't see it, Nikki.
That's weird.
But I just made you a moderator. So let's see if I close this, if she'll show up as a moderator. YouTube. But Deb said she got kicked out too. Yeah. So I don't know what's going on. She came in on the store cart thing.
Well, that's so crazy.
I don't know. So hopefully you're a moderator now and that can't happen. Yeah, I got you as a moderator.
Yeah, she turned blue on my side too.
Okay, good.
So hopefully that fixed it.
Yes, hopefully that fixed it. So she don't get kicked out again. I don't know. I think it's YouTube.
Yeah.
So, let's see. Deb said she got kicked out. Deb, are you a moderator? You come all the time. You should be a moderator.
I don't think she is right now.
Let me fix it. Live chat.
Hey, Sylvia.
Hey. What's going on?
Sylvia is one of my giveaway partners. We tag each other all the time.
Oh, she tags me too. She's awesome. Love Sylvia. I love it when people tag me in the giveaways too. So keep doing it. Because who doesn't love winning free stuff? Come on now.
Right.
So why is it giving me this trouble here? There we go. There we go. Deb. Okay. And Sylvia's not one either. Okay. Okay. So we will move on. Hopefully nobody else gets kicked out.
Yeah.
Okay. She said, I used to walk in stores to keep from feeling and appearing vulnerable for a long time. Yeah. Because you really, when you get in that, you're under judgment and you are feeling vulnerable because
and you not just from people who are side-eyeing you, then you feel vulnerable to the bad people that might take advantage of you.
Yes. Yes.
When they might not look your way before, but now this person has a cane or is riding in a cart. Mm-hmm. Can we take their purse?
Yes. You know, I have it in that cart. It's right down here. I don't put it in the cart because, like you said, I'm afraid somebody might try to take it. Yes. Sylvia said we need to win a big one. Yes.
Yes, Sylvia. Hey, I won the makeup show, Sylvia. I'm super excited about that.
Oh my gosh, that is so cool too. What was the do you remember who you won that with? What was the YouTube, or not the YouTube, the Instagram?
It was from the makeup show. Because it's a new venue for them, they posted they were going to give away so many free tickets.
That is so cool. Brandy's got to do chores. Love you, Brandy. Have a good day. I had someone politely ask me to do so. I respect that. Oh, Sylvia said that was awesome. Yes, that win. That was awesome. We were talking about budgeting. So.
Yeah, I got to budget it, Sylvia, because I'm going to want to spend everything I got.
Yes, that'll be the challenge that day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. We were talking about in the stores. Okay. And there is no cure for fibromyalgia.
No, not at this time. They don't even understand it really at this time.
Right. That's why I was like, I thought it was a neuro thing. And it is, but it's also musculoskeletal pain.
I tell everybody, and this may not be what the scientist would say, for me, I really feel like it controls every part of my body.
Yes.
I mean, because I'll have aches and pains in places I'm pretty much didn't even know existed on me. And the only I would have maybe that day I just was with the animals, and there's nothing that could have caused that issue,
Yeah.
you know. So
Hmm.
people will be like, well, I thought it was bones, or I thought it was, I personally think it's the whole casing, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because even your skin, I used to wash dishes in the hottest water possible. And I can't, I mean, it feels like my hands are falling off. I cannot touch that hot of water anymore.
Hmm. Yeah. That's what made me think it was like a nerve, because nerves are everywhere.
Yes.
And sometimes nerve pain makes sense and sometimes it doesn't. I think I talked with you about the sciatica. You
Hmm.
also have that. You have it chronically,
Hmm.
where yours is more of a is a I want to say mine was like a swollen irritation and yours is a permanent like rubbing of the nerve type
Right.
thing. Yeah. Okay. So, man, I cannot even imagine every day feeling
Well,
that.
I think, and I do believe this. I think people will be amazed at how much they can end up adjusting to.
Mhm,
We're really amazing humans.
mhm, especially women.
Yes, especially women. I do believe that.
Mhm,
But of course, in the beginning, a lot of times you're like, I can't do this. I can't survive this. But we do.
yeah,
And we prevail and we adjust.
mhm,
And, people will tell me all the time, how do you do it? The same way you would probably adjust. We
mm.
may go about it a little different, but you would survive and you would adjust and you would find a way to deal with it.
Yes, yes, 'cause I'll, like I was saying, Sunday, I did way too much, but as
Mhm.
soon as I got home, I took my CBD, then I took some more before I went to bed. So I knew that I may have an issue because I did so much, but I needed to do that. I needed to do what I did. Um,
Yeah,
it was important to me.
right.
I had help, but like you said, I adapt. So
Mhm.
I'm learning like what my body can take now, what
Yeah.
my knees can handle.
And
And
even in 10 years, when you may know exactly the way to do your body every day to be your best pain free self, there's still going to be things and events, and like there may be, I don't know, a celebration that you don't feel good, but you're gonna survive it, and you're gonna have those memories, and they're gonna be great memories even though you were in pain.
right, right. And wanting to go, that's the mental health component.
Yeah, that's
Wanting
the
to
hard part.
go, yeah,
Yes.
getting the want to go through the pain and still enjoy those moments, that is another level of
Hmm.
chronic pain. Um, and I am understanding that better now because, like I said, that was something my sister came with me. That was something I needed to do. I knew I needed to do it, but I was ready. I was like, I'm going to take these precautions
Yeah.
so that I'm not in bed for the next 4 days.
Right.
Wasn't in bed. I was, I'm walking a little slow still, but I'm
Yeah.
still walking. So, in using those ambulatory aids, because I was telling you, I went to a museum recently with my cousin. So, I went to a yard sale. I found a walker with the big wheels on it, which is what I wanted for a big person like myself that turns into a little wheelchair. And
Oh,
so,
okay. Yeah, my rollator is kind of like that, and it's for a bigger person like myself.
yeah, and those are expensive.
I was very lucky, knock on wood. My insurance got it down to $20.
Oh, well,
I
that's
was
awesome.
very fortunate. I,
Yeah,
I had different insurance at the time. Now I'm on Medicare. I don't think they pay for it.
yeah. Uh, so when I picked it up, I was like, I don't need it right now, but I might need it. And it was in really good shape. And I only paid $25 for it. So
Good call.
yep, I got that. And the first time I used it was at the museum. So my cousin had to roll me around. It was a little hard for her, but I was feeling pretty good. I was, I was, when we left to go to the car, I was fine. I it turns back into a walker. You just put those little foot pedals back in and you switch it to the other side and it turns right back into a walker. Walked out to the car, all was well. Where before I would have tried to do it without that. I'm learning now that stuff helps me, even though I may have looked silly. I didn't care. I didn't care.
If y'all
So,
see me look down, that's because that's where my chat is.
yeah, let's see, what do we got here? We got oh, Deb said she was robbed because she walks on crutches. Oh, Deb, I'm so sorry. And Frugal Mama's here. Hey, Frugal Mama.
Hello.
Sylvia said her sister had it. Sue Ellen Morin. Hello, Sue Ellen. How are you? She has fibromyalgia too. Sylvia said you were super skin sensitive. Deb said, I have fibromyalgia on top of my cerebral palsy. And I wonder sometimes, I wonder if fibromyalgia has been around much longer than we're diagnosing it now. Just like autism, we're finding all this stuff about autism. But when we were younger, they used to say that kid's bad or that kid's just, parents aren't, doing what they're supposed to do or whatever, but they actually were autistic. Now I think they're finding out more stuff. Duchess says nerve pain don't make sense one day, you're good the next day, and then the next day you can't move.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. And it's a pain unlike any other. Nerve pain is, if you have not experienced it, it is so, that's with that sciatica. That's what that is as well. It is like a full body cramp. That's the only way I could say it. It was a full body cramp. I couldn't move. You never know how strong you are until being strong is your only option. I have that on my phone, or as my phone screensaver, Sylvia says. That is awesome, Sylvia. You're right. You never know how strong you are until being strong is your only option. And I think as women, we have such a high pain threshold.
I believe that too. Now, I will say there's exceptions to all rules, but my husband has a high pain tolerance, and I can guarantee mine's like 10 times more than his now that I've been going through this, especially.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen him get hurt pretty bad and him walk it off. You know how
Yeah.
But, I mean, especially when I can't stress enough how there's just no rhyme or reason to the fibromyalgia. I just can't stress it enough. People will be like, what can I do to help? What started it? None of those questions can be answered because I don't know.
Right. And the nature of it is, to me, in my electrical brain, it's like you have all these wires in your body, all your nerves, and just randomly they break, make an electrical wire will break and come back. So it'll work today and then tomorrow it'll break. It'll work today and tomorrow. But you have millions, I'm pretty sure it's millions of nerves in your body doing that at different times, affecting different parts of your, like even with migraines, if you have fibromyalgia, how these other things that happen, I think, come as a result of that, right?
Oh yeah. And then the ladies that are talking about they have fibromyalgia, there's also fibro fog.
Oh.
So there are days that things are happening and I may have said something or there's something going on. I mean, I consider myself a very educated person. I had the School of Hard Knock Lives and I have a master's degree, and I won't understand what 2 + 2 is because my brain has got a veil over it from the pain and from all this misfiring of pain waves. And some days my husband's like, why don't you just sit down? You're in a fibro fog and on top of it, you're getting frustrated
Oh
because
yeah.
you're in a fibro fog. You
Yeah.
just need to sit down, breathe, and try to see if the fibro fog will lift a little so you're not mentally getting so stressed out and mad at yourself.
Yeah. It's like that circle we were talking about earlier. The fog makes you frustrated, and then that just kind of makes it worse. Like
Oh, yeah.
you're just
Hey,
going in a circle.
Jen. Hey, Sue Ellen.
Let's see. I'm pretty behind here. Sylvia said going through this cancer chapter is testing me. Oh yeah, Sylvia.
Yeah, girl, I've been praying for you hard.
Yeah. Hey Nona. Nona Grace is here. You are fine. And Frugal Mama, we said hi. We said is she here? If you've been watching the comments, I've just been talking to you, watching you. Jen's hangout. She's here. Hey, Jen. CBD is the best medicine for nerve pain. I do love that CBD. I'm telling you what. I increased the dosage because what they tell you to start out is kind of low.
Yeah.
And I'm like a bigger person. So I took when I went and did that lawn thing with my sister, I took 200 milligrams of CBD. I was feeling no pain. I hope I never develop a tolerance for that because
Right.
I was feeling really good. She called me too, my sister Duchess. She called me and she's like, "I think your CBD has kicked in," and I'm like, "Yeah, I think so." Hey, Sue Ellen. She said she sees an osteopathic manipulator, and she said my body is full of trauma. My pain hasn't been below a 7 since 2014. Oh wow. Jen says she has a high pain tolerance, chain reaction. Yes. The meds they put you on make the fog worse, she said. I chain smoke when I'm in pain, but I also know that smoking doesn't make it better. I know. I don't know a lot about how that affects nerve pain. That's my sister.
I hear my dog. I'll be
Go
right
ahead.
back.
If you need to get up, just go ahead. My
Thank
heart
you.
and chest surgeries have caused so much nerve pain. It's crazy, says Jen. So we all deal with pain differently, but that's the thing. The chronic pain, always in pain. Oh, that's the there's people out there. I got distracted. Sorry. I'm right in front of a window and that happens sometimes. So, what was I saying about the pain? Everybody's pain is different. We know fibromyalgia is not the same for anybody. But what increases pain and what decreases pain, I still don't think they know that. You know, like we know that with CBD we get pain relief, but I don't think we know like you said, Nikki, like smoking, does that increase your pain? It definitely helps with your mental health and helps you calm down, you know. So I don't know. That's a good question. That's a good question. Oh, Jen says her nerve pain was worse when she smoked. Okay. Okay. Joe and I talk all the time about our chronic pain. Well, thank you so much for sharing with us here too, Jen, because we appreciate that. Um, Stress increases your pain too. Now that I've heard, I don't know if they've done a study or anything that proves that, but I agree. I don't think you get a tolerance from it if you continue to take it regularly. I'm pretty sure you can use the same dose for a long time. I hope so because I did start I'm doing my Lazarus order because today was pie day. So I'm gonna do my Lazarus order and I'm gonna get the 200 milligram caplets. So I only have to take one. I'm thinking about getting the 100 milligram ones too because I could take that during the daytime maybe and not be kind of zoned out because it was nighttime when I took the 200 milligrams of CBD, so I was sitting in the chair watching TV. But for the daytime, to to like just to do the dishes and stuff, sometimes to get up, I'm like maybe I should try the 100 milligrams during the day of CBD and see if I can function with that.
Right.
Yeah. Let's see. And Deb said, I'm praying for you, Sylvia. We're all praying for you, Sylvia,
Yeah.
for good reports.
Oh, I see several people talking about the smoking. Now, I vape now, but unfortunately, well, I mean, we all know smoking's not good for us. But unfortunately, they have found direct links that smoking makes it worse.
Oh, they have. Okay, that's what my question was. So she said she knows it's bad, but she's dealing with her anxiety and stuff.
It's hard. I mean, I still, like I said, I still vape. It's got nicotine in it. And honestly, if it weren't for my husband, I'd probably still be smoking. But I understand he quit 10 years ago. It's hard to be around somebody who smokes if you've already
Yes.
quit.
Yes. Yep. Let's see. You can take that 200 milligrams when you wake up. You'll be able to function, I hope. I still don't know if I'll be able to function, but I'm ordering it. I order from Lazarus Naturals. Oh, and while we're talking about CBD, if anyone is interested in CBD, and I'm not a commercial, Lazarus Naturals has a program that if you are on disability or a veteran, I think the veterans get the same discount, that you get a 60% discount. So it makes your CBD more affordable.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And you do have to fill out a little form. I had to send them a picture of my my determination letter, but my sister does this also, so I know they're not trying to scam anybody. So I can recommend that to anyone who's interested in CBD. Lazarus Naturals is the brand.
I'm gonna write that down because I know somebody that might be interested.
Yeah, it's a huge discount, and you can get. They make some really good balms, like I use for my arthritis. Like this, I don't know if you can tell, that's swollen right there, and sometimes I can't bend it, so I use the CBD balm on my fingers and on my knees. Plus, I use the internal CBD. So let's see. Jen says, I've started using a nebulizer and it has made a huge difference in my pain. And I am not even a month out from my sternum surgery. Oh. And is the nebulizer CBD?
I'm not sure how the nebulizer works.
But that's like an inhaler, I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, lazarusnaturals.com. And it's on the main page. I can't remember what they call it. I think it's assistance program or something like that. But yeah, oh gosh, you put me on them years ago and I haven't had to reapply at all. So yes, so it's something that you won't have to re-up for once you start getting it. And they have free shipping over $40 or $45. So if you are on a really tight income, I understand that can be high, but I will tell you it's worth it if you can save up to purchase at that $40 or $50 price point. I can't remember, but you get free shipping.
Yeah.
And no, it's a machine with asthma medication that you inhale for 5 to 7 minutes.
That's what I was thinking, Jen. But when we was talking about CBD, it flipped my brain. I was like, wait a second.
Yeah. So it's actual asthma medicine. I've seen that, and it's like a little face mask, and you inhale. Yeah.
That's what I was talking about. They actually have for cats and dogs now too, which I think is amazing.
Yes, that is. And so that, Jen, that helps you as well. So okay, so you control the asthma, and that also helps with some pain management as far as I can't imagine having an asthma attack and being full of in chronic pain. I can't even. It's because it's scary anyway, an asthma attack. I have allergy induced asthma. So if I don't take my allergy medicine, my lungs get bad, and I have to use an inhaler. Thank goodness I haven't had to do it in over a year. Since I stopped working in the factories, I have been really good. Yeah. So I find it interesting the cream helps your arthritis. No, yes, it does. Yeah.
And there's other options. There's Voltaren, diclofenac gel. They're all pain relieving or numbing agents. You can get them at Walgreens over the counter.
Yep.
What they do for my nerve, even when I have bone pain, I don't understand how this cream helps my bone pain. But it does, and that's wonderful.
Yeah, because Voltaren, I have the generic, just the Walmart brand, but it's basically taking aspirin and putting it right on your pain.
Yeah, it's been a godsend for me.
I use that if the CBD doesn't work, but I've been having really good luck with the CBD. So,
yeah,
because before I got the CBD stick, before I got the account and everything with Lazarus Naturals, I was using the Voltaren probably daily.
Oh yeah, I use it pretty much daily. But like I told you, CBD with THC, unfortunately, because I'm on controls, they would kick me out of my pain clinic if I tested for it.
Sister, are you calling me? What do you? I can't answer you. I'm on a live. Girl, I'm sorry I can't answer you. I'm alive. Jen says, Joe, what were the name of the creams you mentioned? Oh, okay. Voltaren was one. I don't know the generic name for it. I get the Equate brand, and it's right next to the Voltaren.
Yeah.
That's
They're all in the same aisles at Walgreens, Kroger's, whatever. I'll put Voltaren in the chat, but the Equate version, the Great Value version, all of them, they're the same ingredients.
Yeah, that's what you want, that main ingredient. I can't remember.
I get whichever one's cheaper at the time, the sale or whatever.
Yeah, especially at Walgreens, they have some good sales. So
you know what? I'll grab them. I'll show them.
Okay, that's great. Yeah. Voltaren gel, she wrote. Okay. Jen says my doc prescribes Diclo. I'm trying to call to get it on the conversation. Let me send you a link. Let me put the link down here. Present settings, leave studio, having issues. Okay, let me do it from here. I'm going to text it to you, Miss Sister. Let me text it to you. All right. StreamYard. Joe is going to be right back. I think her puppy was. CBD isolate won't show up and keep you from testing positive. Invite guest, copy.
So this is the Walgreens version of just the pain relieving with lidocaine.
Oh, the lidocaine I like too. I like that too.
And then this is the generic for the Voltaren. The Voltaren is the orange and gray too. They look just alike.
Yeah, they all kind of have that orange color on there. Okay. I put the link in the chat, sister. Just click on it. My sister's going to come up. She never comes up. I'm so excited.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Crystal. He's ringing the bell. I need to take him potty.
Go ahead. We can go over 3 o'clock if we do too, since we got so many people here. CBD isolate won't show up and keep you from testing positive. No, she's talking about the THC part, because when you add the THC, it does work better for pain, but she can't use the THC part because of the medication that she's on. I put it right in the chat, Jen, but thank you. That's what I was going to put it in a message, but I don't know how she messaged me. So I just put it in the chat. Thank you for sharing with us. You're welcome, Nona. I think this is so awesome. I'm learning more about chronic pain and fibromyalgia. And like I said, my sister is here. Let me post that in her text. See if she'll. Did you just want to be on the phone and not come up? Is that what you were trying to do? So if you just want to talk on the phone, I can put you on. I don't know if it's gonna people will be able to hear you, my sister. I think you're gonna have to come up to StreamYard. So can I join y'all up there? Of course, Jen. Go ahead and click on that link and I'll let you in. I'm gonna shut this one here to the article. There you are. Let me remove this. Stop that screen right there. Yes. Okay, you can stay with your picture there. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I just can't see you, and it's okay if you don't want to be on video. It's okay.
No, I just woke up. I didn't get time to get ready for all this. Oh, hell no.
That's fine. That's fine. So Joe will be back in a second. She's one of my friends. She comes to my lives all the time. And
Why didn't you tell me you were doing one on this?
Because I didn't think you want to be on the video.
You see how I'm not on the video?
I see that,
My
but
cute
that's why I
picture?
didn't tell you. And I like to spend time one-on-one. So since Joe and I have been talking for a while and you guys want to come up, I'm like, yeah, come on up. We'll have a panel. Hey, Jen, how are you doing?
Good. Just recovering. Well, I'm frustrated right now, but otherwise I'm good.
Hi, Jen.
Hey.
This is my sister, Nikki. And Joe, I think she had to go do something. Oh, she had to take her pup out.
Yeah, she had to take him out. So
Yeah, he had to go potty.
I'm an old timer pain survivor, so I might be able to offer you something. I'm younger than Crystal, though. Let's just get that out of the way.
What? Younger than? Yeah, she's younger than me. But look at her picture. Don't we look the same? We look just.
You guys definitely can tell your sister. My sister and I are like that too.
Yeah,
she's the blonde version of me.
But when you stand next,
I'm not blonde anymore.
That's your sister.
Yeah.
Nona Grace says hi, Nikki, Nicole, Miss Pretty Lady. How are you? Hi, Wilma.
That is hilarious. My sister's name is Nikki.
She's the best sister.
Oh, yeah, right.
You're in a video with me. How exciting is this? I'm so excited.
That's awesome.
I didn't know you had StreamYard. I thought you were just on YouTube.
No, I don't use. I started in StreamYard with Jamie because I didn't have enough subscribers to use YouTube video.
Oh.
I don't have enough subscribers, but I prefer StreamYard.
Well, and now they've changed the rules on it. So
on YouTube, yeah, they do that all the time. They change things, and it's very annoying.
It is.
Hey, Deb, and Nona says she chatted with her sister today. Well, that's awesome because I love chatting with my sister too.
I've been on the phone all day with doctors.
Oh,
so what's going on with you, Jen?
Trying to get referrals straight, you know.
Oh, insurance.
Well, no, they hadn't sent. Supposedly, according to the 2 doctors' offices, they hadn't sent the referrals to them, but they've sent them over 4 times and over the last month and a half. So it's like, no, you guys have gotten them. I guarantee it.
Yes.
Check your fax machines.
Yeah. But sometimes
is a lightweighted way to send things.
Sometimes you've got to be your own advocate, though, because they will drop the ball all the time.
I think you have to be more of an advocate now. And I mean, it's like you have to do your own research on what's wrong with you, what you think is wrong with you, or you're never going to get the treatment that you actually need.
Right.
Can you just say?
Huh?
I got something to say.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you, Nikki. I wanted to know. Go ahead and say what you were going to say, because I wanted to ask you about when.
I was going to say, as women, you have to be.
Even more. Yeah.
Even more proactive with your own medical care, and us larger women, they don't take us seriously. Yeah, of course your back hurts because you're a big fat, so you know.
Right. Yeah. Oh no, your cardiac surgery didn't cause you to gain 50 pounds. In 3 freaking months. Yeah, no. Oh, it's just water weight. Yeah.
Not in 3 months.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's
then
hard to find a doctor to take you seriously when
It
you're
is.
suffering with pain. They wonder why you're big. Well, I can't exercise because it hurts. It hurts more
Exactly.
than the normal person, you know.
Exactly. Yeah.
This is
And-
like a
and Chris-
common topic for Joe and I.
You guys,
Yeah.
I don't have anyone to talk to about it. It's so
well,
I don't have
you
anyone.
joined us.
Except
anytime
me
you
and
want.
Crystal.
Yeah, I'm on
Crystal's
IG as Joe, just Joe.
experiencing-
So anytime, just message me.
Jen's hangout on everything, so just message me.
I'll send her those. I'll send her your links and everything. But
Yeah.
Nikki, I wanted to know, like, when did you start your journey with fibromyalgia, and how long did it take for you to get diagnosed?
Well, as you know, I always had back pain
Mhm.
my whole life,
Yeah.
like from childhood. And of course, there was the "you're fat" thing. God, I can't tell you how many years it took to figure it out. I couldn't even. I'm 50 now. 2005, I finally got an MRI. I want to say 72. Well, 2005 is when things started coming together. So we're in 20, almost 25. So that's been almost 20 years. So, but I had suffered years and years before. I was out
Right.
working and doing jobs and coming home exhausted and, more exhausted than, but I mean, I just assumed everyone had a certain level of pain after work. Everybody hurts.
Yeah.
I didn't understand. 2005,
Mhm.
I knew that something had to happen because I was crawling into the house from work.
Yeah.
So
That's
what question? What was the question? How long did it take?
Question was, how long did it take for you to get diagnosed? And then in 2005, they weren't believing you about fibromyalgia, were they?
Oh, they weren't believing me about anything.
Yeah.
And about the pain. And so I didn't even get my diagnosis for fibromyalgia till a couple of years after. But I did have I was on the pain meds. They started me low with the Darvocets, and I was still working in a factory and all that kind of stuff. And till I finally just one day on my way home, my back was just pounding into the seat of my car, and it took me a good 20 minutes just to get from out of the car into the house, and I was like, this just isn't right. But I think that the first incident that my pain came was when I was 22, is when it started to affect my work and my adult life. So then I want to say I was 32, so 10 years before I was even taken seriously, and I had to make them take me seriously.
Yeah.
My regular doctor sent me to an osteo doctor, and he was like, well, it sounds like this, and we're going to give you this medicine, that medicine. And it was all the medicine I was already taking. I said, I'm already on that stuff. That's not why I'm here. I want to know why I can't get from work to to my home without crying all the way home, in pain.
Yeah, enough with the band-aids. Figure out what the problem is.
This doctor got so angry with me. He called the doctor that referred me to him and told him he didn't want to have nothing to do with me, and got me on the phone with the doctor that referred me to him. And I said, I just want to know what's going on. He mentioned an MRI. Let's do it. And so he told the guy, let her do the MRI, and then we'll talk about it later, because they still did not believe whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I went, it was 3 days later, I was inside an MRI machine, which I hate very much. That's the most.
Oh yeah. I don't think anybody
can't-
likes that. No.
I cannot stand that test.
Mm.
A week later, I went to his office for the results, and the man could not look me in the eye when he read my MRI.
You proved
So
them wrong.
I already had some skeletal problems, things going on, and he couldn't look me in the eye, and he wrote me a letter. What do they call that? I don't know what it was called at the time. Like a don't go back. You have to go see the surgeon and let the surgeon decide if you ever going to work again type of letter.
Oh, okay.
Right.
And that was in 2005. But I had worked from the time I was 15 till the time I was 31, almost 32, probably 32. So I worked probably 17 years in pain before anyone took me seriously, because it was always lose weight, lose weight, lose weight. So I spent many years trying to lose weight, and I couldn't lose weight.
And I think another thing about my diagnosis, which I felt was quick, and it was about a year and a half. I think because I was very thin. I was on several sports teams. I was highly educated. They saw that piece of paper meant that. And I think they took me more seriously because I was in a shape that they thought, well, she obviously has to be having pain because she's in this good physical shape. That doesn't mean somebody like me now that's bigger isn't having pain.
Right.
That's crazy. Just
Right.
because you got, I mean, that doesn't make any sense to me at all.
But that is a good point. Because someone is thinner, it doesn't mean their pain is any different, but you were taken more seriously.
I was taken much more seriously, I think, than my friend, who she was a little bit older than me, not much, but she was much bigger than me at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And they wouldn't take her seriously at all. They wouldn't even like get an MRI like she was saying, and she ended up having back surgery from her MRI.
Yeah.
Exactly, Shelly. It's exactly what Shelly just said. They blame the pain on your weight.
Yeah.
Your kitty wants out, Joe.
Oh,
So,
thanks.
So when the weight isn't there, then they can't blame the pain. But still, you shouldn't have to go through that. You shouldn't have to.
My husband just had the worst experience at the orthopedic surgeon's office. I don't think anybody can top it. and that's sad. We walked into the office and the surgeon comes out. And mind you, this is a 3-hour trip, 3.5-hour trip away, one way, right? So we get into the office and the doctor comes in and says, you need to lose weight. We're not going to do surgery on you. And mind you, my husband has lost a ton of weight. And I looked at the doctor and I said, have you even read his chart? And he says, why? I'm not going to change anything in it, so I don't need to read it.
Oh,
like, are you kidding me? Then he goes on to say that my husband needs to go on a starvation diet.
That's what they told me.
No, it gets worse. Like the concentration camp people. Because
they
lost weight by starving themselves. And then he goes on to say, well, you could do a liquid diet like they do when they do bariatric surgery. I was so appalled. I mean, for one thing, it's like, how could you ever compare anything to a concentration camp? Survivor, not Survivor, anything. I mean, just absolutely out of line, beyond out of line.
yes.
My husband was almost in tears. And I mean, this is a grown man. And it's like, are you fucking kidding me? Excuse my language.
People,
but,
you go to school doesn't make you a good doctor.
No, it doesn't. And
Yeah,
that goes a long way.
I mean, okay, we've got weight issues. I get that.
Mhm.
But to compare to say. And I looked at the guy and I said, my husband hardly eats anything. And he's like, well, he obviously eats enough to keep his weight up. And I was like, no, you need to read his chart.
And unfortunately for all of us, a lot of times these doctors that are poopy, we still have to go.
Right.
Right.
It is so unfortunate because if you ask to be swapped, are you a pill seeker? Are you this?
Yeah.
Are you, you know?
Jamie's going through that right now. She may be on an airplane. She's not here today, but I haven't talked to her. She was heading from Pittsburgh to Indiana, and I think she said last weekend or this week sometime. So she's not here, but she runs into that all the time.
Are you talking about Jamie?
Yeah, Jamie.
Oh my gosh, I feel for her. I mean, everybody's like, oh my God, Jen, you're amazing. I can't believe you're going through all this. And I'm just like, nope. Like Joe and I will talk about, I thought it was worse. I thought I had it really bad. No, man, Jamie, I've had back surgery. I had a crushed spinal cord in my neck, all these things. But that woman, oh my gosh.
She went through a lot. I pray for Jamie, man, daily.
Oh yeah, all
she
those
has.
fusions and everything she's had.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't imagine the amount of pain that she's in.
Yeah. Yeah. Wilma said, I asked my doctor if she wanted back where I was last year. She changed the subject. I just wanted to smack her. I think she's having the same issue. Yeah. You give me medications that make me, hi, my husband's home.
Hi, husband.
Hi, hubby.
Nikki's in here with me too.
Shelly
Hey, Keith.
says, I had a
Do
doctor.
do people know his name?
I just say my husband, but yeah, Keith.
Right, Wilma, Jamie is exactly that.
Yeah.
Shelly says I had a doctor say if I lost the weight, my pain would go away. That's what this surgeon said to my husband.
Yeah, I don't understand. I don't understand. They won't even take you seriously. Like they took me seriously, and they won't take my friend seriously. That don't make sense.
I also have to say, a doctor did that to me. And it was before I was diagnosed with everything. I was really just going for like a UTI because that's a whole nother live. But
interstitial cystitis. Let me just say that.
But he suggested that I have a 0-calorie diet. And I walked out of there and I never went back to see him again. He was a farmer, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Why?
He was just trying to give people drugs and get them out of the way. Yeah. And that's not what I was there for. He was just like, well, in order for you to lose weight, I said, I can't because I did that. I got my membership to the gym. I went to the gym for a week, used their stuff, used the pool and all that type of thing, try to make things a little easier. And I just couldn't go back. I couldn't walk anymore,
Yeah.
Well, and doctors do not want to admit that medications will cause you to gain weight.
Exactly. And I don't, they say long-term weight loss or being heavy can do these different things, but I don't know if they've done a study on people who are in pain, that there are skinny people in pain and heavy people who are in pain.
Yeah.
I don't think you can say if you lose weight, you'll be out of pain. I think that's wrong.
And on that note, when I was skinny being taken seriously, my numbers, because I was in so many sports, I could eat whatever I wanted and not gain weight. But my numbers were bad because I was eating poorly. Now that I eat healthy and I'm a big girl, my numbers are good.
Yeah.
So what are you telling me? Go back to the day when my numbers sucked?
Yeah. I had back-to-back doctor's appointments, right? Like next day. I went to this new neurologist and she came in and she looked at me and she goes, you need to lose weight. You'll be fine. Right. And I said, I said, you obviously haven't read my chart because my weight had literally dropped 85 pounds in 2 months. I was vomiting constantly and everything was flushing out of me. I was so sick. I was so gaunt in the face. It was ridiculous. And the next day I went to my hematologist because I have a blood disease, and he looked at me and he goes, something is very wrong with you. What is going on? And I told him, and he's like, we need to order these nuclear tests on you right away because we have to figure out what is causing this issue. Turns out I had I have it. I'm still dealing with it. I have to have a surgery soon to try and fix it. But I have gastroparesis. My digestive system is completely paralyzed and doesn't digest food. I take laxatives on a regular basis twice a day. I take so many other medications for this one thing. And it just causes my diabetes to go crazy. It causes my blood disease to go crazy. It's caused me to have heart issues, all of these different things, all because my digestive system doesn't work properly. And yeah, okay, I'm fat, but I am so malnourished. I have the same equivalent malnourishment numbers to somebody who's starving to death in like Ethiopia or something.
And the doctor told you you'd be better if you lost weight. What the heck?
Right. And I was losing weight so quickly. And now I've flipped onto the other side, and they put me on insulin, 2 different kinds of insulin, and that caused me to gain 50 pounds. And then I had a quadruple bypass 6 months ago, and that caused me to gain another 56, almost 60 pounds. So, I have all of this excess weight on me now. I can't breathe correctly. My pain is absolutely through the roof. I mean, come on. You can't not admit that, insulin especially causes you to gain huge amounts of weight. And then all these cardiac meds. I take 29 meds twice a day.
Yeah. Yeah, they're going to affect you. How are they not? I mean, yeah. And just a stupid doctor saying stupid stuff. Just because you got a degree doesn't mean you're a good doctor. I try to tell, because some people think that the doctor's word is gold.
Not every doctor is an A student.
Yeah.
You only have to get a D to pass.
Yeah. And you don't have to be a good doctor to have patience. Right? You just got to take the insurance.
Especially in a rural area.
Yeah.
Especially desperate to get medical attention.
Our city, I don't know how big our city is. Nikki knows what I'm talking about, but it's the doctors here. I go out of town for all my doctors because
I have to go out of state. It's Joe and I were just talking about this. My husband has to go today. He's going to go by himself because there's no way. I mean, I just had chest surgery. There's no way I'm up to going. So he has to go 3.5 hours one way for a 15-minute doctor visit because this particular medical group refuses to do telehealth.
Oh.
Even though they're a border town, I mean, like right on the freaking border. They're 20 miles from the border between Oregon and Washington. And the entire medical group refuses to do telehealth.
Wow.
So he'll have a 6.5, 7-hour drive for a 15-minute appointment.
Oh, man. Yeah. And sometimes you have to travel that far just to get good medical care.
Right. Yeah.
I've been very lucky, knock on wood, that the team I have now, and I hope this is my team for years to come, that they believe me, I'm in a good place, and they're fighting for me. But it probably took 12 years to get there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And like you said, hopefully they'll stay,
Yes.
Yeah.
Hopefully nobody moves anywhere. Everybody stays right where they're at.
Don't get a better job. We need you to stay
right.
I still have a bruise on my arm right here. I don't know if you guys can see it, but from a month ago when I had surgery because they wouldn't listen to me and they were trying to do IVs and they had to redo my IV 3 times. I got poked 14 times in one day while I was in the hospital.
Yeah. I went through that when I was in the hospital in January. They when you tell them you're hard to get,
Yep.
a lot of them don't believe you, and then I'm like, oh man.
Yeah, they
I
did that to my
was
dad when he was almost dead from a stroke. And I finally said, I'm normally not the person to get in your face, but if you don't find somebody, a doctor or somebody that's going to listen to me about
Mhm.
my dad, I'm going to be not a very good person for you to deal with.
Yes. Yes. Especially seniors or anyone who can't speak or communicate. My other sister is going through that. Her fiance had a stroke and she's got to be his voice.
Yeah.
And when you're not there, they don't have a voice.
Yeah.
So,
My mom was there, but unfortunately, because of the stroke, she'd lost her mind almost because they pretty much said we're going to do surgery. He could die in
Right.
surgery, you know. So my mom's just
yeah.
gone.
Yeah.
So I'm having to do all this, and I'm like, this man's dying, and you're treating him this way.
Yes.
I used to work at a nursing home, and I worked in the dementia ward of the nursing home. And we had a gal that she ended up having a UTI, which is so common in those places. But we had to take her to the ER. Well, they were poking her and poking her and poking her. And finally I looked at the nurses and I said, go get the ultrasound machine and do this correctly. Stop poking this woman. She got poked 11 times and her skin was just paper thin. But her veins would just roll away because she was so just sick, you know. And she didn't know what was going on. She had full on dementia, you know.
Right.
So you have to be an advocate for anyone that you love and care about, and especially for yourself.
Yes. Yes. And we got a comment in here. We know our bodies. I see Joe, but I think before that, was it Shelly?
Kelly, yeah.
Yeah.
And Wilma too. They both said it, I believe.
Right, yeah.
Why don't they believe us? Why do they think? And I'm not
Because
saying
we're
they don't.
emotional beings and we're bigger, or there's so many things they put on top of it. And I'm like, why when I walked in here do I have to be an emotional fat person?
Yeah, why? Because and I'm gonna go back to my whole electrical thing. And when I would go to a job, the people that were there, now not everybody's like that, but the first people I would ask are the people that had to deal with the problem. What's
Yeah.
going on? What's your point of view? And if I could talk to more than one person, the better. I could get to know the problem, and that's how you fix something. And that's
that's not just in the electrical field. I mean, I was in law enforcement. We have to do the same thing. That's how you deduce what is going on and what the truth is and what's really happening.
Yeah. And so why don't more doctors do that? Why do they not teach them? Do they?
I think they have all forgotten the Hippocratic Oath and are all bought out by pharmaceutical companies.
I think that has a lot to do with it, because sometimes the medication you get prescribed is what they're, dealing with at the time. When my mental health journey, I had to go through quite a few doctors to get to a doctor that wasn't prescribing me a brand new on the market medicine that wasn't working for me.
They get kickbacks from it.
Yeah.
Half of my family is in the medical field, and they'll tell me the truth. They won't necessarily tell their patients that, but they'll tell you, yeah, pharmaceutical companies come in and they're like, we'll give you this incentive if you prescribe this medication to this many people. And it's just blows my mind that they would do that. It's like, where did the care go from healthcare?
Yeah. And the simplest thing to do is to ask somebody what they're going through, and ask questions like we do here. It's the simplest thing to do.
Honestly, just as humankind, to be caring and ask, I see that you seem frustrated. I see that you're not talking. What's going on? Even as a normal person, but much less a doctor.
Yeah.
I agree, Shelly.
Yeah. And I know that a lot of people get a bad rap and they think everybody is pill shopping now. But
But I will say, I think that's why in the beginning they took me seriously again because I had that degree. I was thin. I was doing sport. I had the role model patient checklist, if that
Mhm.
makes sense.
It does.
I
It
have
does.
a
Yeah.
law degree, and they look at me like I'm a moron. I'm like, no.
Well, I'm
Doctor,
saying in the beginning because everything, because I was thin then, and I was on 4 sports teams. They
right.
felt like, oh, well, this girl's doing it all exactly what we would ask. So
Oh,
there's something that's got to be wrong.
Right. We can't blame it on weight. We can't blame it on this or that or that. We actually have to do some tests here. Hello.
Yeah.
well,
Yes.
that's like I went to my neurologist in 2014. I got hurt at work, and it ended up crushing my spinal cord, and I ended up having to have neck surgery. Anyway, it's a long story, but I went to the neurologist. He ordered the MRI, never looked at it. 4 years I lived in a state of, if I got bumped the wrong way, I could have been a quadriplegic.
Mm.
4 freaking years. And then finally, I had gone to his assistant, his nurse practitioner, and I told her, I said, well, could we do some cortisone shots in my neck? And she says, we need to do an MRI just so we know exactly where to do it and know what's going on. She did it. She called me in less than 24 hours from the MRI and said, I'm referring you to neurosurgery. You need to have immediate surgery.
Yeah.
And I had 3 neurosurgeons look me in the face and ask me how I was still walking.
And those bad doctors, nothing. It's not like you get so if I buy something from Amazon, I don't like it, I can return it.
Right?
You can't do that with the doctor. They
Oh,
got your
no.
money.
See, this is a dilemma that I am in the middle of right now with my cardiologist. Joe knows all about it. She's heard me bitch and bitch and bitch. But I had quadruple bypass, right? Well, I have to see my cardiologist after that. Well, the first appointment after surgery with my cardiologist couldn't happen with her exactly because she had just had hip surgery. Understandable. So I saw her assistant, and then I was supposed to see her like 3 weeks later, right? They called and canceled it, and I saw the assistant again. Well, finally, I was like, enough of this crap. They're trying to just basically ship me off. Well, I'm in heart failure. I just had cardiac surgery, all these things. And I went to the appointment and I looked at the nurse practitioner assistant lady, and I said, I don't think that you are giving me the care that I need at this point, and I really would like to see the cardiologist instead. She got so offended and so just blew up. And next thing I know, the cardiologist is in my face saying that I called the nurse practitioner an idiot and that I needed to wait. So she comes in, treats me like crap, and I'm like, listen, my sternum is not together. I can tell it's not together because every time I move, it does this.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I take a breath, anything, and she's like, well, fine, we'll send you to the surgeon and we'll take some special x-rays. And now I need a cardiac release for a test that she ordered, and she won't answer it. They've tried 4 times.
Wow.
You have in your patient rights and responsibilities, if you read it, you have the right to ask for a new provider if you feel that you are not getting the care that you deserve.
Yeah, they say that. That's a big lie.
Because I got called out by by 2 weeks after I had that appointment. I went to my regular doctor. No, it wasn't even 2 weeks. It was like the next day. And they told me management's involved. This is my last chance. If anything else happens, I will no longer be able to get care here. They can't deny me care. There's no doctor's offices within a 50-mile radius besides them.
Mm,
But I had, and I told my doctor, I said, I have the right to do this. Read this.
yeah.
It's in your own language. So now I'm trying to get this cardiac release, and I'm trying to switch to a different cardiologist in a different state. And it's just a big fiasco.
Yeah.
So opening your mouth, even though you have the right to, causes all this bullshit.
I literally, the first time ever heard it from a doctor was not a doctor, an NP for a psychiatrist.
Right.
When I went in there, she literally, one of the first words she said, and just to let you know, if we don't get along or you don't feel compatible with me, you don't have to worry. We don't get offended here. And I was like, this is the way it should be everywhere.
Everywhere. I've had therapists tell me that, but it should be that way everywhere.
Everywhere.
Because it's hard to find a therapist you click with. And I think a lot of people give up. And so the last couple times I've gone, to find a new therapist, they've told me that. And luckily I have been blessed that way as well.
Yeah, and it should be that way with doctors. Even if, let's just say, I don't care what it is. Let's say you go in and the doctor's a Packers fan and you hate the Packers. I don't care. If you're uncomfortable, you should be able to swap, no questions asked, and it'd be
Right.
easy.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's
Pandora Muse 57. Nails, how are you doing? I think that she is new here. And she said they can get ugly about that.
oh, she's so right about that.
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't know why they get ugly. I think they just, when you walk in, they see a dollar sign. I
Yeah.
I
need
think
a
they
doctor
have
like
this huge superiority complex, and then you're absolutely right. It's about money.
Yeah.
That's all they care about.
That's
And I
why I love my
Shelly, don't shave your
neurosurgeon.
head. Don't do it, Shelly.
My neurosurgeon. I think I talked to Crystal about this. And I know Jen knows.
Yeah.
Because I have some discs that are messed up so far down.
Mm-hmm.
I could have the fusion, but in 10 years you have to have another fusion, and then the next one it would be pretty much fused to my hips.
Oh,
So then I wouldn't be able to do this,
yeah.
And he said, I just think because usually they want to operate on you when you're young.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I just think we need to just keep watching it and see how long you can wait. And I'm like, this guy is an honest, good doctor, because most doctors will be like, let's cut you open and make that money.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yes. My knee surgeon, he did an excellent job. It looks great. But when the pain didn't go away, because you see people get knee surgery and they're like, hey,
They're up trekking the next week.
running marathons. I'm like, what the heck is going on? Why is this not getting better? And he's like, well, sometimes it does. Sometimes it doesn't. He was not helpful at all. Great surgeon. Just,
That's like my cardiac surgeon, my first one in November. I don't even hardly remember the stay in the hospital. It was so brief and I was in so much pain and I was so out of it. But they kept screwing up my insulin dose. I mean, they're like giving me 3 units of insulin. Okay, that is enough insulin for a child, not a 44-year-old fat woman who has 10 insulin resistant diseases, and takes 30 units at a time. So, and I kept telling them, no, you need to follow my prescription. You need to follow my prescription. That's why I have it. And finally, after 3.5 days after having a quadruple bypass, right? Mm-hmm. He kicked me out of the hospital and he looked my mom and I in the face and said, you can take better care of your diabetes at home than we can here. I'm discharging you. And literally a half an hour, I was at the door.
Isn't that pitiful though? They don't know how to take care of your diabetes at the hospital.
It is that happens a lot though. I've seen with me.
Where are you guys from? What states are doing this?
Where are you guys from?
I live in Oregon.
Girl, I'm from Tennessee. I don't know.
Well, I figured that. That Tennessee. I heard your drawl.
Yeah,
I
I
just
live
that don't make any sense at all. A heart patient gets sent home 3 days after a did you say triple bypass?
quadruple.
Quadruple. 3 days later, after they stitched you, did they laparoscopically do it or crack you open?
Correct.
Okay, that don't make no damn sense.
And you said
And-
Oregon
and
or Washington
Their
State?
stitching with the wires failed so badly. My sternum was that far apart. I don't know if you get that far apart.
I can see, yeah.
And it would do this every time I would breathe, every time I would move, and it would pop and it would crack and it would grind. And I had nerves that were literally getting stabbed in my left breast by these wires. And the pain would just radiate all the way down to my nipple. And I kept complaining about it to my cardiologist, to my PCP, everybody. And they're like, oh, that's normal after you have chest surgery. And finally, that's where the whole cardiologist BS came from.
Mhm.
Finally,
But
she's
what was-
okay, we'll take pictures. And sure as shit, all the wire. I mean, now I have 4 titanium rods that go across my chest.
what would be the normal period of time that you should be in the hospital after they, after a quadruple bypass where they cracked your sternum open?
It's 4 days to 2 weeks.
My
Depending
dad was 76 years old, and they let him go in 6 days.
Yeah, it depends
But
on
6
how
days
fast
isn't
you're
3.
healing and all of your other medical issues.
Yeah.
What
Especially if
state
you
did
already have a
say you were in?
diabetic. If you're diabetic and then they're sending you home that quickly after such a surgery, isn't that just plain dangerous?
It's
Well, the
neglect.
thing is, you can't get your medicine. It's the same in Tennessee. I've had friends my friend who unfortunately is now passed from breast cancer, she also had lupus, and they had to go in, and I didn't understand. Somehow her lupus obviously was messing with the cancer.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And so when they went in, she couldn't get her lupus medications on time, and she's dealing with cancer on top of it.
When I had my neck surgery, they would not give me any of my medications on time. There were times where it would go 8 hours past when I was supposed
Yeah,
to take
it's crazy.
medications. And you know what's ridiculous about all of this is that it's not the doctor's job to deal with your regular medications. They might add a few, after surgery, post-op, that kind of thing.
When you're in the hospital after you have surgery, it's not the
It's not
cardiologist's
their job.
responsibility to make sure that your diabetic self makes it through
No, it's a
that
completely
surgery.
different person that deals with your normal medication. It's
Nicole,
Oh,
called
there's someone there to do it.
I think there's something with these other states. Because what state did you say you were in, Jen?
I'm in Oregon, but I had surgery. Well, I had that surgery in Washington, and then I've had surgery in Idaho as well. The treatment that I got in Idaho, superior, far
Okay.
superior.
Because in Michigan, I was just in the emergency room in January. They checked my sugar every so many hours. They, like
I think when it comes to Michigan, it depends on where you live. Because Shelly lives in Michigan, and then
she lives up above us, north.
yeah, and then I have another friend who lives all the way up in the peninsula, and my friend that lives up there, she got into a horrific car accident, and she got the absolute worst care. I don't think I've even had that bad a care.
Oh, maybe
She probably would have been better off going to Wisconsin if she's from the UP. It's
Probably.
closer
maybe
to
it's
better.
not specific to
medical
the
care.
state.
She was life-flighted there, so
Saucy kitty cat.
So did she go to Wisconsin or she came down?
no, she came down.
Yeah,
Do you know what city they took her to?
I don't remember. No,
because yeah,
they
in my
took her to one city, and then they sent her husband to another city. And her husband, what caused the accident is her husband had a major cardiac event, like a widowmaker almost.
okay.
And they kicked him out of the hospital after 2 days. He just had, like a few days ago, he just had quadruple bypass because of all of this shit. And they've had to deal with lawyers and all kinds of crap.
So it's just situational. I
Yeah.
I had the best care. They gave me all my medications. Did they give me my mental health medications? They didn't give me my mental health medications, but all my other ones for diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol. I don't have high cholesterol, but they make me take that because I have diabetes, so I don't
Right.
get cholesterol, I guess, something like that. And they gave me all that stuff the right way that they were
That's
supposed.
amazing.
That yeah.
Which hospital did you have your surgery in, Crystal?
Beaumont.
Winder.
When I went for my kidneys, it was Beaumont.
Oh,
I
okay.
went to the emergency
Beaumont.
room. I was in there for
By where we used to live,
Huh.
the one down Maine, the Beaumont in Melvindale.
Trenton. Trenton.
Okay.
The one on.
Hey guys, I'm so sorry. I need to go.
Well, it's 3:00. So let's go ahead and wrap it up. And thank you guys so much. I had so much fun today talking with everybody. And I will get my sister
Hi,
your
Jamie.
Instagram links too. Oh, hi, Jamie. Oh, she's still in Pennsylvania then. Ozzy's visiting her. So
Thanks for letting me, interrupt and bombard.
it was so good to have you up here, Jen, and my sister Nikki and Joe. It's been so great getting to know you better. And thank you everybody for coming. That's all we've got today. So we will talk to you later. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
See you guys later.